Hello, my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and tonight I've got another spoiler-free book review to share with you guys. And tonight we are talking about a new psychological horror anthology that comes out on September 10th, so just a few more weeks, called Fears: Tales of Psychological Horror. First of all, look at that cover. That's bone-chilling. Now, the reason I instantly requested this book when I saw it on NetGalley was that one of the contributors, and this should come as a surprise to nobody who's been around this channel for a while, was Stephen Graham Jones. At this point, this channel is merely a Stephen Graham Jones fan account. So when I knew he had a story in there, I knew I had to read it. So I'll read you the little blurb here. I need my glasses though, because I'm that old. So it says, best-selling horror editor Ellen Batlow returns with 21 stories of extreme psychological dread from such horror icons as Stephen Graham Jones, Josh Malerman, Margot Lanigan, and more. The unsettling tales explore the nature of fear as it stirs in dysfunctional families, toxic friendships, and mismatched lovers, which culminates in relentless stalkers, remorseless killers, and perpetrators of savage rituals. Great description. That's a great description. Not all of these stories worked for me. What that said, there was 21. I would say I loved probably 15 of them. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not going to get into each story because some of them are so short. It'd be impossible to really even tell you anything without accidentally telling you too much. And we don't want to do that. So, I'll just tell you a little bit about some of my favorites. Now, all right. I had to look up the titles of some of them. It starts off strong. Bait. I loved that one. It's kind of about what happens if you see something terrible happening and you go to help. What if you then get put in harm's way, in a very, very interesting sort of flip the script kind of way. And I loved that one. I also really loved The Donner Party, which isn't the Donner Party you might be thinking of. But it's definitely related in some ways. It takes place like sort of in the olden days, Victorian era maybe, late 1800s, early 1900s. And it's about a family that will do anything to secure their place in society, and literally anything. And I loved it. I thought it was such a good story. I also loved My Mother's Ghosts. I liked that one a lot. So many were good. Let me see here. Joyce Carol Oates has a story in this book. It's called Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? And that one was really good too. It's about a young girl who gets approached by a man, and he tells her, you're going to come with me. Like, you can either come with me gently and easily, or you can come with me the hard way. You pick. And if you put up much of a fight, well, your family's going to be home soon, and then they're going to have to deal with me. So figure out what you're going to do. Very scary. There was another one, Cavity. I really liked that one as well. It's about how many murderers do you encounter throughout your life that you don't even know about in the moment? Like, you pass them in the street, you're a casual acquaintance, or someone you know very well, and it's sort of like a laundry list of this woman looking back at all the times she later found out she'd encountered murders. What else? 21 Brooklands Next to Old Western Opposite the Burnt Out Red Lion is one of the titles. And I really enjoyed that one too. It's about a home invasion. This one's a little more gruesome than some of the others. But it made my heart race. And that's the thing about all of these stories is it's not like too scary, but it's a dread that creeps up the back of your spine. And it's a quick read because you're just flying through the pages trying to figure out where the hell this story is going. And that one scared me. Unkindly Girls was absolutely horrifying. It's about a teenage girl and her dad and the summer vacations they go on. Teeth was the Stephen Graham Jones offering, and it was good. It's what you'd expect, at least what I would expect from him, in the way that you don't really know what to expect, if that makes sense. But it was very him, and I thought it was very interesting. It's about a police detective who has recently beat cancer. He's gone into remission after he lost his wife, and now he's convinced it's back, for one. For two, he's working on a case, a very gruesome case. And three, he's also getting ready to retire. And it's this whole thing, and the ending is wild. It's wild. What else? The Pelt, I really liked that one as well. Backseat. I forgot about Backseat. Backseat is again about a girl and her dad. This one's a little girl. She's like 9 years old, and her dad are homeless. And they're kind of living out of their car. They can't find a homeless shelter that will take them because it's a grown man and a little girl. Like, they don't want the little girl in the men's homeless shelters, and they don't want a grown man in the women's homeless shelters, which makes sense. But like, there's got to be some sort of solution for a man and his daughter, right? Anyway, so they end up living in their car, and every so often they go for the walk, which it's called, where they go out looking for cars that might be unlocked and looking for any money that might have been left in them. And on one such night, the little girl finds something she wasn't expecting in the back seat of one of the cars, and it's horrific. It's horrific. And your heart breaks for her, but also for her dad, because you can tell he's a good man, just in really unfortunate circumstances. And that story, more than any of them, really pulled at my heartstrings, even though it's incredibly difficult to read. There's tons of good stories in here, you guys. So if you like horror, if you like that feeling of being scared but you don't know why, that creeping sensation of dread, definitely pick this up on or after September 10th. Mark your calendars, because you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. And I mean, that cover, you guys, it's horrifying. Just awful. Again, in the best possible way. So there you go. That's going to do it for me for tonight, I think. I'm trying to think of what I've got coming up next. I'm going to be reading All Fours by Miranda July. Maybe not next. Next, I'm going to be reading, I think, Coup de Grace that I talked about in my end of summer TBR, and then we'll go to Miranda July. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Today, my daughter moved back to the city to get ready for school to start, so I'm missing her already, although I'm going in on Monday to see her. She can't get rid of me that easily. But this year, instead of living on campus in the dorms, she's actually got an apartment with a friend. So that feels like a really big step. And I couldn't be prouder of her. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well and you're having a great weekend. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.